Hello, Gregg le Sueur for online tennis instruction. Today's video, I'm going to show you how you can get back quickly to cover those lobs so you can hit good overheads. And the common mistakes I see, some players they kind of backpedal back like this. And number one, it's a very slow way to get back, but also it's very dangerous because what happens, it's very easy for you to trip over your feet, and a lot of times people have actually broken their arms doing this. They've fallen back and put their hand out to brace the floor and then end up breaking their wrist. So you've got to be careful of that. And also, you can also injure yourself quite badly if you fall back and hit your head. So at all costs, try to avoid backpedaling back to cover lobs. Now I do see a lot of players will shuffle back, and that helps you stay sideways. It's certainly a lot safer, but the problem is that it takes too much time to get back to cover tough lobs. So what you want to do, if you recognize the lob and you want to try to see that early, you want to start off by taking crossover steps. That way you can cover more distance with the least amount of steps. Now what I do find is a lot of players struggle with this idea of crossover steps. So one thing I've been doing in our doubles clinics, and this has really helped players, and it's kind of like being that light bulb moment, is to simply turn your back to the court, look over your shoulder, and simply walk to the back fence. And what starts to happen is you can move back pretty quickly, and as you speed things up, you start to take these crossover steps more naturally. We're not thinking about crossing over, we're just thinking about turning to the back fence and then looking over our shoulder, and you're able to get back a lot quicker and a lot safer. Now, another thing that really helps, and that's the correct use of the left arm. So very often you're told to point at the ball. The problem is that it prevents you from turning up a body, making it very difficult to do crossover steps, right? So then what happens as a result is we end up shuffling. So if you look at the best players in the world, and if you watch them hit overheads, you'll notice that most of them will have the non-dominant arm like this, holding the racket. So what that does is, the number of advantages to this, but the one where it helps you for movement, it helps you to turn. See, my left arm is over here, it helps me to turn my body. My left arm is here, my chest will open up, and it's very difficult to cross over. So if you have the non-hitting hand basically holding the weight of the racket, now you can turn the body, look over the shoulder, and get back a lot quicker. All right, so what I want you to do is try this at home, where you turn, put the racket in your non-hitting hand, turn over your hitting shoulder, turn to your left if you're right-handed, and simply just walk in this direction here. And then if you have a little more space, you can complete that and simply turn that walk into a little bit more of a run. And you can see you can get back very quickly without having to cross your feet and trip. So it's a very effective way to help you to get back. Now keep in mind, when you go back for overheads, sometimes you may take a couple of crossover steps like this, and then you may have to shuffle to adjust. Okay, so that's the first thing on the movement. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can progress it from shadow swings to now hitting the ball. So I'm going to work through a couple of progressions, and we do this in our doubles clinics all the time. I actually got this concept from my friend Raven Clausen, who was coaching me at one time, and that's where you want to hold the racket in your non-hitting hand, and Ava's going to feed the ball. I'm going to let the ball bounce, but I'm going to move back with just the left hand on the racket. Now when that ball hits the ground, I'm then going to grab it with my hitting arm. That way it's going to force me or train me to use that left hand and really cradle the weight of the racket. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to start about midway between the net and the service line. Ava's going to feed the ball up. I'm going to cross over going back, grab the racket, hit, and come back to the starting position. Again, the racket's in my left hand. Let's see, one more, Ava. Back in the left hand. Okay, so now we're going to progress it where I'm going to have both hands on the racket. I've now created that awareness with the left hand. So you're going to have your hitting hand on the racket. With the non-hitting hand, my left hand, I'm going to try to cradle most of the weight. Now I'm going to take the ball out of let the ball bounce again. What I'm focusing on now is that when that ball bounces, I want to try to base with this back foot. I want to kind of stabilize my body so I can then push forward to contact. That's something you want to try to work on, is not always jumping, because that really means you're late. You want to get in position behind the ball, behind the apex, where you can then drive forwards and upwards. So let's take a look at that. Both hands on the racket, still with a bounce. So I'm crossing over here. I'm gonna base, hit, and come back. Both hands. Gonna base, hit, recover. And one more here. Both hands. See, I'm crossing, base, hit, and then recover forward. And the third and final progression, you're going to then take that ball out of the air. But now you've really been focusing on not only using the left hand, but also taking these crossover steps, where you're just running to the back fence and looking over your shoulder. So I did some crossover steps followed by shuffle steps. Crossing over, base, hit. One more. Crossing over, base, and then hit. All right, so give these drills and progressions a try. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, post your comments below, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.
The serve is, of course, the most important shot in tennis, and because so many players struggle with it, we now started offering one-day serve clinics. In these serve clinics, we'll break down your serve with video analysis and show you exactly what elements need to be fixed so that you can hit powerful serves. So if you're interested in finally developing a powerful serve with one of our serve clinics, click the link inside this video right now for all the details on upcoming serve clinics.